together to have this webinar tonight, to have the kind of support that we see, the kind of dedication from both the founders, the staff, everyone there at the Wellness Pro office. You know, by now I think everyone's had a great exposure to Willie. I appreciate the work that's happening, the new things that are coming along. You know, we're sitting here on the eve of Thanksgiving, and also the eve of Hanukkah, and it's kind of neat to see that we're able to take time off, to step back, to get together tonight, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit here in just a moment. But first and foremost, I want to thank you for joining us. You know, you always make the decision of what you're going to do, with your time, and I respect that, and I want to be sure that you absolutely have the opportunity to make great use of our time together tonight. So as we get started, I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. Number one, we are at the end of November, and we're starting the holiday season. It's quite common for people to think, oh, you know, it's the holidays. Christmas is coming, Hanukkah is here, January is just around the corner. I'm going to step back a little bit for my business. Maybe I'll sit down. I'll wait and see. I've got plenty of things to do. You know, I've got to go shopping on Friday. I have to do various things. I'll just wait. I'll step back just a touch, take my foot off the gas a little bit, and then I'll get back to this. Now, the things that really makes the difference of a leader is this kind of decision. So I wanted to start out tonight by talking about three different things. What to do tonight, what should I do the balance of this week, and what about next month? So I'm going to just share my thoughts with you briefly, but I want you to understand, this is watching literally dozens and dozens of companies, hundreds and hundreds of business builders, and I think that I start to see some trends. I'm going to share with you some trends. One, we need to be sure that we have balance in our lives. I am giving you permission tonight, tomorrow, step back, enjoy your family, take your Wellness Pro hat off, set it to the side, consider the blessings that you have, the wonderful opportunities that lay in front of you. Don't think for a second that every conversation, every thought, everything that you have to do between now and, say, tomorrow night is to be centered on Wellness Pro. If it is, it's a mistake. If you do, I feel sorry, because you will have missed a very important day, both for you, for your family, friends, loved ones, those that you'll spend the day with. So it's okay between tonight and tomorrow to go off duty. We all have to step back, take time to sharpen the saw, but that doesn't mean that Wellness Pro is not a part of your life. It's okay to talk about it. If someone asks you, you're with your family, you've got a sister or brother that says, hey, what about this? What about that? I was thinking about losing weight. It's absolutely appropriate that you talk about it, that you answer questions, that you live your life like you would from a Wellness Pro standpoint. You are a Wellness Pro. You're entirely able to help and enrich the lives of those that you love, those that you trust, those that you're surrounded by. And so I want to be sure that you know it's okay to have those conversations. Don't feel like you have to. Don't make every conversation that you have focused on Wellness Pro. You're missing out on a very rich and wonderful time if every time you run into someone or you talk to someone, that's the first thing out of your mouth. So it's okay, step down, enjoy the day tomorrow, but then on Friday, recognize it's time to reload. Now, we have a meeting on Saturday, and this is going to be at the office, and this is going to be for our Hispanic group, our Spanish group. And for those of you that are aware of this, I encourage you to get your people out, invite guests. One of the things that we really know works well is to come, to be together, to share, to be able to experience who and what Wellness Pro is, and then be able to make a decision in that environment. That's something that you're going to see more and more from the standpoint of regular meetings. You're going to see us invite people to these mastermind sessions, these strategy sessions, where a presentation will happen, but at the same time,
have the chance to be exposed to Wellness Pro and who and what Wellness Pro is, who we are, what we do, and why they should consider being part of our group. Now, with that, be sure, again, that you get tied in. A real leader knows what's going on. And so we'll do our very best to see that you know about these meetings in advance, watch your emails, stay on these conference calls, just show up. One of the biggest problems in being able to communicate is when people stop looking at emails and they stop showing up because, gosh, you know, it's the same thing and I'll get ready. I'm fixing to go out and be successful, but just not quite yet. One of the largest determining factors in the difference between success and failure is just showing up, being there. So I'm going to invite you to step up as a leader and do that. So again, tomorrow, wonderful time. If it's right, if it's normal, if it's natural, surely share Wellness Pro, the benefits, the life-changing experiences that you've had, the benefits of the product. After tomorrow, probably every single one of us on the phone will be in sore need of some of the Wellness Pro products. And so be sure that we're able to live with Wellness Pro in our life, but we don't live for Wellness Pro. It's a part of our life, it's not our life. Okay? And that's how it should be. Now, this week, we end the month of November. And the nature of our business is typically we drive month to month our activities. So remember, we still encourage sponsoring, enrolling, ordering. Be sure that that gets wrapped up by the end of the month. By Saturday, you know, go out and harvest all these things that you've been planning all night long, or all week, all month long, and finish the month out right. There's something in our business called delayed response. If you're unhappy with what's going on in your Wellness Pro business tonight, don't look at yesterday, don't look at this morning, look back to the end of September and the 1st of October. That's when you were laying the seeds or the groundwork for what would happen in the month of November. Right now, the seeds that you're planting or the framework or groundwork that you're laying is for January. So for those of you that mistakenly think, well, I'm going to take my time off and I'm going to enjoy the holidays and not worry about this till January, effectively what you do is you say, okay, I'm not going to really do much with my business until March. Because if you start to put your foot back on the gas in January, it's going to be March before you harvest and before you really start to recognize that benefit. If you want your January to be strong, you need to do it in the month of November and December. Now I'll share something really briefly with you. I have mentioned this before, but it is so powerful, and it's something that I know is true. I was there, I've seen the numbers, I've experienced this. And Willie will also know this to be true. I'm very familiar with the group of business builders that are all earning over $500,000 a year in a direct sales company. Okay, of those 16 that are earning over $500,000 a year, do the math on that, what that is a month, by the way. Can you imagine $60,000, $80,000, $90,000 in a month? Of the 16 that I personally know in this company that are earning over $500,000, 9 of the 16 became a part of the company in November and December. Of that 16, there are 3 that I know that are earning over $1 million a year. Every one of them started in the month of December. So don't think for a moment that December is a time when nothing happens. Of the top business builder or money earners in this company, the ratio of those that came in November and December illustrate the point so well. Of the $1 million earners, every one of them came in December, that they started their business was in December. Now the interesting thing about that is those are people who have a plan, that have a goal, that set a strategy. And so they understand this idea of delayed response. They were looking in November and December what they were going to be doing in January. So if you have people that are looking forward Those are the people that you want to be on your team. Those are the people that you're going to find in the month of December. Those that are looking forward. They typically have this goal-oriented idea. So stay sharp, stay on the lookout, and don't think for a second that you're not going to find business builders in the month of December. So set the saw, if you will, sharpen the saw on Thanksgiving and Hanukkah. Stay active, stay sharp, stay watching, and know that in December you'll be able to pick up some of the very best business leads of any month out of the year. So November and December are extraordinarily important for us. Now, the next thing I want to talk about tonight is this idea. You'll see this in our presentation. Share, build a team, and lead. Now, when we do this, it isn't a 1, 2, 3 type of a path, meaning I don't first share and then I stop sharing and I build a team and then I stop building a team because now I'm going to be their leader. This is something that you should continually do. The idea of sharing, you should always be sharing, either by example, by the way you live, by the things you do. You're sharing a message. You should always be doing number one. Also, this idea of building a team and leading that team, that's a continual cycle that you should always stay focused on. So be sure that you're spending adequate time in each one of these areas, sharing, building, and leading. The other thing that I wanted to be sure that you recognize as well is the idea of these 5 golden behaviors. And we've talked about this before. The idea of selling, sponsoring, building a team, building leaders, and then retaining all of that work that you do. Every activity that you do with Wellness Pro should fall within these 5 golden behaviors. You know, attending meetings and showing up on phone calls, I don't see anywhere on that list. Not that that's not important, because I believe what we're doing tonight is building a team and building leaders. But if you don't have anyone with you, then you're participating, but you're not performing these golden behaviors. So everything that you do within your Wellness Pro business should focus on one of these 5 golden behaviors. And the interesting thing is that idea of retention. Once you've planted that seed, once you've harvested that seed or that crop, you need to be sure that you're able to retain that. And the way that that happens is by tying into that person, tying into that product user, making sure that they have excellent experience. They understand exactly what this is all about. The idea of becoming a part of a team is very, very important. You know, I have done a lot of study on entrepreneurism, and I can tell you it's very alive in the world today. There are 2 reasons why people will think about starting an opportunity like we have here at Wellness Pro. One is the desire to be better. I know that there's something more out there. I want to be better. I want to be, I want to be successful. They have that desire. The second thing is the opportunity to change my current situation. I need more. I have the opportunity to go out and make more. And so this idea of what really pushes an entrepreneur, they want to give and they want to change their situation. Those are the type of people that you're looking for. I've heard Willie use this word before, significantly uncomfortable. If you had someone that was significantly uncomfortable with their current surroundings, my car is breaking down all the time, I don't have money for my apartment, I need to go back to school and get an education, I just lost my job. Those are all things that make us significantly uncomfortable. It's finding the way out of that uncomfortableness that really makes a difference with an entrepreneur. Now, tonight, I'll tell you just a little bit about our current market, this current market analysis. First, entrepreneurism, as I mentioned, is alive and well. And hopefully, that's not a bad word. Sometimes people think, no, being an entrepreneur is bad. Having the idea of earning money is bad. That's not that's not the right thing. You need to get in line with everybody else. You need to be happy with what you have, you know, thinking beyond the mark, trying to be more than where you are. That's a bad thing. There is absolutely, completely nothing wrong with that. Wanting to be different, wanting to be better, wanting to change your circumstance is absolutely part of who we are. So embrace that. But by the way, once you embrace it, you have to do something about it. If you think you're doing it and yet not doing it at all, I'll tell you that's going to lead to more frustration than you'll ever be willing to tolerate. And so with that, once the decision's made, take the step and go forward. Now, what differentiates Wellness Pro? You know, Maria and Tatiana and I had this conversation just the other day, and it was very interesting to me because I've been experiencing the same things that you have. I've been talking to individuals about Wellness Pro. And, you know, out in the marketplace right now, there's a great deal of activity around the idea of a wellness, about losing weight, about, you know, about being fit, being healthy. And it doesn't matter where you look, you're going to hear this. We call it churn. The churn in the marketplace over this. There's a lot of messaging, a lot of information. You know, you don't have to look very far to see the latest diet drink, or, you know, the weight loss plan, or go to the gym, you know, get a 24-hour fitness membership, look different, be better. You see other companies, you know, that are showing you what you should be as opposed to what you are. And one of the things that I recognize as a great value, as a differentiator of who we are, we're not promoting instant change. We're not promoting short-term or a short-time program. We're talking about making a lifestyle change, living in a Wellness Pro way. And that is one of the big differentiators, and I don't know how many people have stopped to think about that. This is not a 90-day program. This is not a 60-day program, get up every morning at 4:30 and, you know, work out until I throw up so I can have that six-pack ab, you know, and I can have my weight down where my target is, you know, so I look great in that photo. This is a lifelong process that we want to encourage people to change, to be better, to follow those pillars and understand the pillars of health, and to actually incorporate a lifestyle change. And that's really who we are. And recognize we're not a program, we're not a flash in the pan, we're not something that we're just going to go and get somebody excited about, collect a credit card, and away we go. And that's the last time we stop to think about that person and perhaps what their goals are. So recognize the differentiators that we have. One, our products. They are absolutely effective. The efficacy of our products you've experienced, you know. So these products are products that we can live with long term. And it's not that, again, it's not a short-term 60, 90-day program. These are lifestyle changes and lifestyle choices that we make. Our effective products, our wonderful opportunity is far and away, when you compare apples to apples, the opportunity itself has the sustainability that many other programs do not have, or many other companies do not have. We are set for the long haul. We're set for the long term. And it's not something about creating a flash and a fire in the pan right now and it's going to burn out. And away we go to our next plan. This is a sustainable, lifelong company. When you form a relationship with Wellness Pro, it's a lifestyle choice. And we want you to be a part of us for the balance of your life. You've made a lifestyle choice when you come and become part of Wellness Pro. We invite you to incorporate those pillars into your life. And because of that, you're now part of who we are. And the last thing, of course, is that lifelong nature of who and what this is. And so be sure that we're able to communicate those differences. And the way people will know that is in the way that you talk, the way you respond, the messaging that you send. And with that, I know this is going to feel a little funny for everyone tonight, and I'm going to be very conscious of our time, but I'm going to tell you a story.
okay? And this makes me smile because everybody thinks you know this story, okay? So we're going to get some good old lessons from an age-old fable, the tortoise and the hare. Everybody, I think, is familiar with this story, but I'm going to ask you to stick with me anyway, okay? You remember the tortoise and the hare? Once upon a time, there was a tortoise and a hare. They had an argument about who was faster. The rabbit, of course, said he was faster. The turtle said, no, I think I can be faster. I think I'm the faster runner. And so, of course, they decided that they were going to have a race. Now, again, everybody knows the story. The hare, at the beginning of the race, he took off, he shot ahead. He saw he was completely out in front of the tortoise, and he thought, I can even have time. I'm going to stop and I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to be able to still win this race. And you know what? That's what he did. And he lay down, and everybody knows the story. The tortoise came by. He stayed persistent. He won the race, and the moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. Now, this is a version of the story that everybody knows. I skipped through it really quick because everybody's aware of it. That's the story that we've grown up with. However, that's not the end of the story, okay? The story continues. So, after this, the rabbit did some soul searching, and he realized he'd lost the race because he was overconfident, he was careless, and he was lax. And if he hadn't taken for granted, there was no way that the dang tortoise would have beat him. So he stepped back, looked at the problem, and said, you know what, I can do better than that. So he challenged the tortoise to another race, which, of course, the tortoise agrees to. Now, the rabbit, he started out, he stayed right on course, he followed his strategy from start to finish, didn't stop, and you know what? He won by miles. He won that race by a long shot. And of course, we learned that fast and consistent will always beat slow and steady. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. Okay? Now, the story doesn't end here. Okay? Next, the tortoise did some real thinking this time, and he realized that there's no way that he could beat that rabbit in the race the way that it was currently set up. He just knew there was no way he was equipped to win that race. So you know what he did? He thought for a while, and he challenged the rabbit to another race. But he wanted to change the route just a little bit. You know what? The rabbit agreed. The day of the race came, and away they went. They started out, and in keeping with the commitments to be consistently fast, the rabbit took off. He ran at top speed until he came to a big, wide river. And the finish line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. Well, you know what? That rabbit wasn't prepared for the river, and before long, here came the turtle, and he crossed the river, and he ended up winning the race. The hare sat there. He tried to figure it out, and the slow and steady turtle came right along, swam across the river, continued walking, and he finished the race. The moral of the story, you identify your core competency, and then you change the playing field to suit that core competency or what you're better at. You know what? The story still isn't over. Let's go back. The hare and the tortoise, by this time, they were pretty good friends, and they did some thinking, and they both realized that the last race could have been run much better. Could have been faster. They could have had a better result. And so they agreed to do one last race. And again, they decided this time they were going to run as a team. And they decided that if they helped each other out, they'd be able to absolutely do the very best that they could at this race. So away they went. They started off, and this time the rabbit, he carried the tortoise till he got to the river. The tortoise then carried the rabbit over the river, and you know what? They both finished faster than either one could have done this race. They both felt this greater sense of satisfaction, and they both felt like that was the very best that they could have done. So here's the moral of the story. It's good to be individually brilliant or strong and to have these strong core competencies, But unless you're able to work in a team, to harness each other's strengths, you're always going to perform lower than you would if you would embrace everybody's strengths. Meaning, no matter how good you are, you'll always be better as a team than you are separately. Additionally to that, you know, this story teaches us a lot. Never to give up, even when you're faced with failure. Maybe you've lost a race. Maybe that hare just ran circles around you. You know what? Slow and steady is all you can do. But being fast and consistent is always going to be slow and steady. We know that. But whatever your strengths are, your core competencies, that's what you work to. Pulling your resource, being part of a team, you always will beat, you know, the individual performers. And so with that, I want you to think about that story. It was really quick. It was one that I think everybody's familiar enough with. And by the way, I'm happy to give you a copy of this, make this available for everybody just to remember it or share with your team, so however you'd like to use it. But the idea of being something more, being something better, always using your day in the most efficient way. It's okay at times to step back, to sit down, to have a wonderful holiday, a Thanksgiving holiday, and feel no guilt about that, a Hanukkah, you know, and to go through this holiday season between now and the end of the year and completely be able to enjoy your family, your friends, those that you love and care about, and do those things that will help you to reload and be sharp and be ready. But you need to always be able to stay focused on what your goal is. Recognize we've got just a few days till the end of November. It's the 27th. What do you need to do tonight and Friday and Saturday to wrap up your November and to tie it in a nice little bow? And then go hunting in December. Recognize that the people who really are serious about making it a real hit, about really having some strength and coming along and making a difference not only in their life, but in building teams and doing things, you know, that will bring success, those are the people you're going to find in December. The vast majority of the population, they're going to wait until about January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd to write their New Year's resolutions, 2014. Those are good people. Don't make a mistake. They're good people. The people who sit down and decide, gosh, I want this year to be something different. What should I do? But it's the people in December that already have those plans. Those people in November that know what their January looks like and what they need in order to be successful. Those are the people that you want on your team. Those are the people that are going to self-identify in the coming weeks, because they're the ones that are together. They've got their Christmas shopping done. They've got their holiday plans made. They've already bought their tickets, made their commitments, know when the parties are. They've got their calendar down. You know, they're always prepared. They're always ready. They're always moving forward. Those are the people that are the best to make a part of your team right now. Those are the ones that you should be talking to. In a very real sense, often we make the mistake of recruiting down. We go to that person who we feel superior to, and we say, you know what, I've got something that will help you. Let me help you. Let me show you a way. When in reality, we should be recruiting up. We should be talking to people that we perceive as better, more equipped, you know, a better presenter, a better speaker, a better leader, a better professional, and inviting them to be a part of our team, as opposed to us going out and trying to pick up people in a way that, you know, we want to be better than them. Think about, in the next 6 weeks, recruiting up. How do I recruit up? Better, stronger, faster, you know, and those are the types of builders that are going to make a significant impact in your business. One of the things as we wrap up tonight is to recognize the tools that we have. We've got a presentation that is tuned up and ready to go. We've got the 8-step document that you're going to have access to. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll see an email coming out talking about it a little bit, understanding exactly how to use these steps in order to strengthen your business, to stay in those leveraged building activities. What should I do? What should I focus on? More importantly, what are the specifics of doing that? You know, you say, Brian, I'm ready to go. Just tell me. Tell me exactly what I need to do. Well, this document does do that. It's staying involved and engaged with the meetings, listening to our conference calls, participating there, inviting people to presentations, leveraging Willie in a way that will allow you to be stronger in your business. What you want to do is use the team that you have. You've got Willie. You've got the Wellness Pro corporate staff. You've got the facility for those of you that live in Southern California. There's great power, as Will tell you, to showing up with your people and not just to show up and put your feet up on the desk and say, okay, Helen, bring me a cold drink and let's sit and talk about fun things for an hour. That's not it. Showing up and leveraging the credibility of the staff, the people who corporately are there to help you to be successful. Look to them as a tool to help you build your business. Be very strategic in that. And as you work smart in that way, you're going to find great credibility that comes. And with that, there's a subtle but different mind shift that happens. People recognize that in you. They see there's something happening there. See there's something you're excited about. And you know what? They want to be a part of that success. So those are the things that were top of mind that I've been wanting to say that will allow you to finish strongly, not only in November, but in December. Stay connected, stay tied in, continue to push for this founding group. Recognize that there are many things that will come. It's interesting, you know, you plant the seed and you water it and you take care of it and you wait and you hope and you wait and you hope and you wait and you hope and you know what? That seed grows and it gets stronger and stronger. And if you're standing around, you've planted one seed, that's going to grow. But it may or may not mature. If you plant many seeds, obviously the chance of having those plants mature and having a healthy harvest increases. So you plant the seeds, you leverage your time, you live your life in a way that's balanced, but you incorporate Wellness Pro as part of it. Wellness Pro, I'll never ask you to make Wellness Pro your life. I want you to make it a part of your life. Incorporate it as a lifelong choice, and you're going to see great benefits. With that, everyone, I'm going to wish you a happy holidays. I appreciate your attendance tonight and everything that you're doing to make your Wellness Pro business better. I invite you again, have a wonderful day tomorrow. Enjoy it and recognize that in the next coming days to wrap up November and hit December in a very strategic way, and you're going to find great results. Thank you, everyone, and again, happy holidays and have a wonderful evening.